Well, the judge in the case aiming to halt the West Virginia National Guard's mission to Washington, D.C. wants more time and more arguments before he makes his ruling.
That's right. And the central question at the heart of this case, well, did Governor Patrick Morrisey have the authority to send the National Guard members to Washington, D.C.?
Ariana Saunders was there as attorneys for the state and the ACLU attempted to answer this in court today.
Well, after about a 2-hour hearing today, Judge Richard Lindsay says he wants more time to really digest the arguments and testimony heard today. He does intend to make a ruling next Monday.
We do live in extraordinary times now where the deployment of National Guard has again become more of a regular circumstance. The court takes then this question seriously.
So after 2 hearings, Judge Lindsay intends to have one more on Monday before deciding whether or not to grant a preliminary injunction against the state, stopping the mission of more than 300 West Virginia National Guard members serving in Washington, D.C. Guard members have been in D.C. since late August when President Trump called on states to assist in helping with the said crime cutdown and beautification mission. While the ACLU, who has brought the suit on behalf of the West Virginia Citizen Action Group, argues that the governor is acting outside of his authority, attorneys representing the state pushing back on this because the guard was requested by the president.
That does not mean that they've been federalized, and I don't think plaintiff thinks that we've been federalized. I just want to make sure that distinction is clear, that we are not federalized in this action.
The ACLU brought forward a law professor from Mississippi College and a retired U.S. Army JAG officer who specializes in military law to testify on Monday. He talked specifically about Title 32 and operational control. West Virginia Guard members are working in D.C. under Title 32, meaning they're still under the authority of the governor and the state, but are being paid federally. It's been used historically to help in situations of natural disaster or riot, so a deployment to D.C. that's not a state for issues that the ACLU don't think has risen to the level of emergency has created this big legal question.
The authority for this mission is listed as having been derived from the federal government. And so they can't have it both ways. That should give anyone pause. The National Guard is under one command and control authority or another. It is never under both.
Judge Lindsay has asked that they come back on November 10th at 2 o'clock to give their final arguments, and this is when he intends to make a ruling.
So it's a hard balance to strike between wanting to make sure that you've got all the information you need to make a decision, but at the same time that we act with some urgency. So I'm grateful that the court is hearing all of the arguments, and we look forward to arguing it next week.
Now, we do know that the West Virginia National Guard was recently deployed to help with food assistance in the state. We were told last week, though, that that will not affect any of the ongoing deployments, including that one in D.C. In Kanawha County, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.